After somewhat of a hiatus because of other restoration pressures, I've finally spent another day or so on the Haynes Apperson, and there's a couple of things that have happened since we last videoed it. First of all, the con rods, which were extremely thin on the white metal, have come back, and I'm in the process. If you look at the end there, you see that's bearing blue. So I'm in the process of bluing that and making sure it's a perfect fit to the crankshaft, because we did not send the crankshaft to the Babbitt place. So we need to actually fit that, which is absolutely tiresome job. You've got to fit it, blue it, see where the marks are, see where it's high, see where it's low, scrape it, and then get it to the point it's absolutely perfect. The other thing that has happened since then is we've managed to get these absolutely beautiful piston rings. Now, these were handmade. These were made by a company called Phoenix Piston Rings in Victoria. And amazingly, I measured the gap in the piston, which is here. I measured the gap in the piston. I measured the thickness of the wall of the ring. We checked the bore and sent the specifications off to Phoenix Piston Rings. And they came back within 2 weeks. 6 brand new piston rings. I specified I wanted 16 to 20 thou gap, and I've already put the rings in one cylinder and the piston on. So this is the second cylinder. If you just look down there, you'll see that that is the ring, and that's a 20 thou feeler gauge, and that just fits in the gap. So that's perfect. And to make sure it's square in the bore, we use the piston just to sit on the top like that. So I'm going to make sure the other 2 fit equally as perfectly. Then we'll fit them to the piston. The piston, we've actually taken the time to weigh the piston, weigh the rod, and weigh everything together. And after a little bit of fiddling, we got it to within 30 grams of each other. And I think for a slow moving motor, that's balanced as good as it's going to get. It certainly wasn't anywhere near that good when it was brand new. So the next thing to do is to finish doing the rings, put them on the piston, finish bluing the big end. Once that big end's blued and I'm satisfied that it's moving freely and it's got good contact with the crankshaft, then we'll actually fit the piston into the cylinder and then fit that on. The other interesting thing that we had to do while we were at it is the decompression. Now, the decompression actually runs into the water jacket there. That's the water inlet, and through the water inlet and into the cylinder. So we've actually gone to a lot of trouble. That's decompression and that's off decompression. So it doesn't go all the way over. It just sits at 45 degrees. So we've gone to a lot of trouble to make sure that that's tight, because we don't want water under pressure leaking into the cylinder. We don't want gases from the cylinder leaking into the water jacket and creating bubbles in the water jacket. So we've made sure that that is absolutely sealed. That's a taper. So on the bottom end of the taper, I've actually got exhaust gasket muffler putty. And on the top end, we've got stag. And we've made sure that that's perfectly sealed and pressure tested the water jacket so that there is no water going into the cylinder. And that therefore means that the cylinder gases can't go into the water jacket. So lots of little things to check before we actually get to assembling the cylinder on the motor.